Welcome to Creatives and Conversations, where we explore the mind of the creative through constructive conversation. I'm your host, Tamara Lloyd.
For creators and conversations, join us. For creators and conversations.
Okay, I am so excited about today's show. I have my brother from another mother, Mr. Sean Scales, is in the building. Well, he's on the phone in my building. Amen. We're so glad to have him today. I have had the pleasure of working with him for a couple of years now, and he's just a very talented, anointed musician, singer, songwriter, producer, hand clapper, you name it, he's it.
The boy can play the piccolo.
Yeah, and I also have Michael Lloyd with me. He just introduced himself, by the way, into the conversation. But yes, so I am so excited that he was willing to be my second interview, and I'm going to allow him to introduce himself. He can tell us where he's from and what he does for a living, and take it away, Sean.
All right. Well, first I want to say thank you for having me on the podcast. This is wonderful. I'm honored. This is my invisible, visible friend. So for 4 years now, I think 4 years now, I've known you and I've never met you. Same thing with Revy Rev, with Michael Lloyd.
Yeah.
These are my invisible, visible friends. But you know those kind of people. They're more visible to you than the people that you see every day.
Yeah,
and that's what you all are.
Wow.
All right, no more tears. Don't cry. Don't shed no tears. Let's man it up. All right, run it up. Pull it together.
Right.
So yeah. Just to introduce myself, like you said, my name is Sean Scales. I'm 38 years old. I am from Columbus, Ohio. I reside in North Carolina. I am the father of two wonderful, rambunctious, energetic, talented, good-looking boys by the name of Sean D. Scales II and Isaac Van Scales. There's nothing else after that. This is Isaac Van Scales. And I'm a singer-songwriter, producer, and minister. Son of a preacher man and all that good stuff.
you must have been reading my notes. You must be in the spirit, because my next question or the next topic is, so I know you're a single father, which you just told us, and you have two handsome young boys. So let's talk about the challenges and also the benefits of raising them on your own.
Yeah, wow. So good question. The challenges, I'll start with the challenges. The challenges of raising them on your own as a single black man. I would say, how can I put this? So, okay, most people do not think that a lot of black men raise their children.
Wow.
So I've been taken. Well, people don't even know how to take me. Teachers, they'll make statements like, okay, their mother will probably show up, or they'll try to dance around certain questions or things of that nature, and I just have to tell them, like, this, I am their father, and I'm present,
Right.
And more than often they learn that, over the period of time, but with this pandemic. There's no learning period, so you just got to come out and say it. So, that I think that's a challenge, because a lot of people, per the statistics, and we haven't helped ourselves by not all the time stepping up as black fathers, but there's more that step up than those that do not. But a lot of times there's a lot of disrespect that you may have to go through. But then there's the benefit is, once they understand it, oh man, you got love.
Right.
I mean, it's good. It's all good.
So do you find them being surprised that you're present
Yes, a lot of people, church people, pastors,
Wow.
teachers. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So question, if I may. You sometimes can get into a hectic and busy travel schedule. You know, because just like we are your invisible, visible friends. You are ours as well, and so I'm always watching, always listening, and you are a genius, and I mean that with all my heart. But the question on the table for me: how does the responsibility as being a single father, how does that work into your ministry and travel schedule? Because sometimes, bro, you get on one, you be going.
Yeah. That's a good question. Two things that I'll say. The first thing, you have to have a village. You have to build a village.
Wow.
And that is what I was referring to when I said once they get it, they love you. You know, once they understand it, I've been blessed to have a village of mothers, like grandmothers around. You know, they've been their surrogate grandmothers. I've had older men that have been their surrogate, uncles, and just everyone is just surrounded. God has just blessed me. I asked the Lord to surround me around a village when I moved out here, because I'm by myself and there's no family. So, God has just blessed me with favor to build a village. And then the other thing is, I seen this post, Instagram post from Myron Williams, and I'm gonna take what he said for the second part. He said, allow your family, your children, your immediate family, your wife, all of that, allow them in your space. So they become a part of my purpose versus a hindrance to it.
Right.
I've made songs about my children. I shine every day and never give up. I put them in a video with me. I've preached and they've been on the stage underneath, right at the bottom in the drum pit.
Wow.
You know what I mean? They've been right there with me. Is it a challenge? Yes, on site, because a lot of, we have to do things in a certain order. You don't want kids to be a hindrance to the service or a concert or whatever, but I actually make them a part of my message if I'm preaching. I make them a part of my concert if I'm singing, if I'm writing or doing a podcast or something like this, so I've already made them a part. I've let them know. So they're a part of me, so they don't become a hindrance. And then in that way, I get to expose them to everything
That's right.
that I'm doing, because this is my legacy that I'm passing to them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? You're all in my notes. I don't understand this. I don't understand. So that leads me to the next point. Let's talk about the legacy that your father left and the legacy you're now leaving for your sons.
Yeah, man. So my father was a great man, very talented. He was before his time, but he found his peace with the Lord, and became a preacher. He was an R&B singer, sung with Barry White, the Aretha Franklin sisters, Ohio player. He was always around, but he wasn't that guy that got that break, and he finally gave over to the Lord, and became a preacher of a storefront church. And it was in those times where I'll share with you. This is the part. So I'm always with him, and it's crazy because they're always with me. So I'm always with him, and he was preparing a message, and I was on the drums just messing around. And he was preparing a message on the stage, and he said that he felt something come out of him, and he followed it, and it went on to me. And so he said, Lord, what in the world was that? And he said the Lord spoke to him and said, all of your endowments, I am passing them on to him. He's going to be greater than you. Get ready, get him ready.
Wow.
And so at the age of 13, he took me in the studio, and the engineer that got saved around the same time my father got saved turned around and said to him, he says, Donnie, you're David, but he's Solomon. Your son is Solomon. You started it, but he's going to finish it. Mm. And so from that standpoint, he just began to endow wisdom into me, and just keep me centered and grounded. as best as he could before he took his rest. And, here I am. I'm a byproduct of his steadfastness in the Lord. And also he took responsibility and was responsible and was present. And so, as a byproduct of that, I'm able to be present, because a lot of men, we don't know how to do something if you haven't been shown. Well,
Right.
I've been blessed to be shown.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
So what legacy? I mean, you briefly touched on it before, but if you could, expound on the legacy you're leaving for your sons, because like you said, I've seen them in your videos. You just posted a video the other day that was so adorable of them,
Yeah.
dancing to your music. And some, my kids, I have a couple of introverts in the house and then one huge extrovert. And just today, he became my technical assistant,
I've seen that.
helping me set up. And so, as much as I want to pass this down to them, I can't force the others to be a part of it. I just want
right.
them to do it on their own. He actually wants to be a part. As a matter of fact, he told his, when he was going to Sunday school with my aunt, he told the teacher that he wanted to be a vocalist when he grows up.
Wow.
So, I know it's, in my case, it's a little bit different as far as the legacy is concerned. But I see your kids are being very much involved. So what legacy are you trying to leave for them?
Well, I'm like you. I'm not forcing this on them. I'm exposing them to it.
Right.
And, a father is a seed carrier. He passes the seed to, and so I'm or a seed sower. I've sown the seed, and now I'm cultivating it. So Isaac is different than Sean. Sean's he's an introvert that will turn extrovert if he feels comfortable. Isaac, my other son, he's a straight extrovert. Period. So there's not a stage big enough for him. There's not a platform big enough. He's going to talk, and so they all have different qualities. I see the gifting in them, but the legacy that I'm particularly leaving with them is identity. I already know they're gifted, but I want you to know who you are and whose you are, because we're living in a world that's suffering from an identity crisis, and so I'm protecting the identity while I'm yet cultivating it. So I don't want to show them too soon. Everybody's got a YouTube page. Everybody's got it's my job to protect you and not release you too soon, so you don't bloom too soon. You see those kid stars, they just bloom. They bloom at 12 or 8. Oh, it's cute. And then can't live life from 13 to 40.
And then crash and burn. And then they crash and burn. Yeah.
Correct. So it's not the talent. I don't have to touch that. I've already exposed them to it. They'll go into that on their own, how they want to go into it. But I want them to know who they are and whose they are, in that regard, because that's going to give them the when, the what, the why, and the how, and where. That's identity. That's all about identity there.
Yeah, that's awesome. So this might seem like a weird question to ask after that, but why is legacy important to you?
Oh man, that's all a man has.
Wow.
At the end of the day, your legacy is going to precede you, whether it's a good one or a bad one. It's going to precede you. We have legacy right now. It's influence. Like the stuff we're doing right now. This is a part of a legacy. People are going to be touched by it, and you'll never see them.
Yeah.
Let's look at Martin Luther King. The good stuff that we know about Martin Luther King, it's still being impacted. We're being impacted by it.
Yeah.
So that's whether you're living or dead, in that regard. And that means that you were steadfast, you were faithful, you were strong, you weren't easily broken. If you break a man, if a man is broken, he there's nothing he can give you. But when a man is strong, he's been healed, and he walks in the confidence, of his identity that God has given him. He's able to be there for his children. He's able to go through this world, you know, and be a light in the midst of darkness. So that's yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And let me let my listeners know I'm doing this in my home, so you might hear certain things going on. My aunt just opened the garage door, so that's just a part of life. Sean was talking so good I couldn't say stop. Let me edit that out. So I didn't want to stop him. So you might hear it again.
Organic.
It's all good. It's
Right.
all good.
Right. So all right. Well, that was awesome, and that leads me to this question: what type of impact do you wish to have on people you minister to?
Man, I just want. I guess I want the impact to uplift, to encourage, to inspire, you know, to push them to the light. You know, we all have a light, and that light is the light of God. You know, when He breathed His breath into us, we became a living soul. And so my job is to breathe life. You know, sometimes, you know, in living in this world of darkness, man, we're sometimes we can be detached from the life-giving principle. Mm-hmm. And so in whatever facet I do, if I write a book, if I'm singing a song, a love song, a gospel song, which I know we'll get into, whatever I'm doing, it's to speak, breathe, and encourage life, because we got enough death. Hey, everybody, this is Sean Scales. I am with Tamara Lloyd, Michael Lloyd, and Creative and Conversations podcast. I'm excited to introduce one of my singles entitled All My Praise. Let's go.
Now the Bible says, let everything that have breath praise ye the Lord. Y'all ready? Let's go. Woo! I've got to lift up your name. I've got to give you all my praise. I've got to bless your holy name. You're worthy of all my praise.
I've got to lift up your name.
I gotta give them all. Yeah, Lord.
All my praise. I've got to bless your holy name.
Yeah, Lord.
You're worthy of
Listen, I've got so many reasons. I've got plenty of reasons. I've found so many reasons why I give you all my praise. Oh, yeah. Lowell, help me sing this song.
I've got to lift,
Yes, sir.
lift up my hands. I've got to do my holy dance.
I've got to lift up my hands.
Gotta do it.
I've got to do my holy dance.
I've got to make a joyful noise, so I will lift up my voice.
I've got to make
Yes.
a joyful noise.
A joyful noise.
So I will lift
I've got so many reasons.
Yes, sir.
I've got plenty of reasons. Yeah. I found so.
I've got to
Yeah. Good God Almighty. Ooh. Yeah.
Listen, I don't know about you, but I've got to.
praise Him.
Oh, where He brought me from and all that He's done, I've got to.
Praise
Woo, woo, yeah.
Restore my soul. He made me whole. Praise Him. Yeah.
What else did He do?
He's broke every chain. That's why I say, yeah.
Yes, sir.
For me.
Woo! That's the reason why I give all of my praise. Now come on, let's have some church, y'all. Hallelujah. 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 Oh, hallelujah. Come on, Noel. Oh,
You're worthy. Hey. Hallelujah.
my God.
You're worthy. Hallelujah.
I got one more. Oh, we love you. Woo. Hallelujah. We love you. Hallelujah. Let's go home. I've got so many reasons.
I've some pretty reasons.
I've got so many reasons. I've got plenty of reasons why I've got
So-
to give you all my praise.
Now I told you I didn't have to be on the songs, but since I am on this one, why don't you tell us about the inspiration of that song?
Oh man, all my praise. So I actually made that song back in 2013. That's when I first made the tune. So in 2013, I made it with the intent on submitting it to Marvin Sapp. I felt like that was a Marvin Sapp song, and I had a connection to getting it to him, but for some reason that connection just broke down, right? So it was just on the shelf. So fast forward, 2015, I meet a brother by the name of Patrick Noble. Patrick Noble, he said, man, you know, I heard good things about you, and I wanted to see if you had anything, you know, because I heard you're a songwriter. And so I said, yeah, I got this song. I think you might gravitate to it. So at that time, I was going through really, really heavy in life, and I started to begin to think that, hey, at best, I'll probably be a songwriter and maybe a producer, you know, but I'm gonna just go about my life. I don't know if I'll ever make the light of day.
Wow.
So, because most of all of my resume is built off of writing for other people. So then you tack on the life issues that I started having. I just kind of was like, man, you know, hey, I don't know if this is going to, but hey, I tell you what, here you go, you know, because I just came from writing something for Lowell. 2013, I wrote a song called All Right, and that peaked on number 15 on the Billboard.
Wow.
Prior to that, I was I want to say a test dummy and a ghostwriter for Worldwide Records, Kerry Douglas, and Keith Wonderboy. So I was writing and showing him. Actually, I was singing songs so he would know how to sing them. So this was the mantra of my life, right? And I never got that break. And I had got married and then went through in my marriage. And then I'm like, man, at best, maybe, you know, I'm probably, this is it, right? So, okay, I meet Patrick Noble. He says, hey, man, I'm looking for some songs to submit to some people, see? So I'm thinking, yeah, man, that's all I get, you know? So I send him the song. He says, who is that singing? I said, oh, yeah, that's me, man. He said, what are you doing with this? I said, you know, I was really submitting it for, I really wanted somebody like Marvin Sapp. He said, I tell you what, re-sing it over, because I know that was just a rough draft, sing it over, and then get somebody that you know to feature with it. Matter of fact, why don't you get your boy Lil?
That was great advice.
You listen, Tam, I was shocked. I was like, what? You know, I'm going through. I don't feel worthy. And this cat just says, hey, you sing it and get somebody that you vote for to sing it. Why don't you get Lowell? All right. So the other thing was, when I made this song, I made it because I had to, you know, where I was at, I made it in a closet. All right. So I made it in my closet. I sung it in my closet, mixed it there. I connected with Lowell. I drove up to Atlanta, and then met Derek Stevenson, and he cut the tune. He cut Lowell's vocals, gave me the file. I mixed it, and so I sent it to him. He said, "Man, what else you want to do?" I said, "I need to get a background vocalist because I don't have much. I need a background vocalist." And he said, "Man, I tell you what, I'll go in with you to get whatever you want on there." So I had my friend Walter Barnes play bass and guitar, and then Leonardo introduced me to you, Tam, and then I said, "I need to get Tamara Lloyd on there. So I need you to pay Tamara Lloyd, and I need those background vocals." And so that's how me and you met.
Wow. I didn't know that was the connection. Well, I knew Leonardo was the connection, but
Yeah.
I didn't know Walter Barnes. I just did some tunes for him. That cat is crazy. Walt Barnes
That's my guy.
bananas.
Yeah, that's my guy. Yeah, that's who's playing bass and guitar on my break.
Didn't even know that.
Yep.
That's crazy. My question I want to ask is, what do you feel? And I think I'm going to ask everybody on the show because I want everybody's perspective on this question. What do you feel is missing from the music industry? Be it gospel, R&B, hip, it doesn't matter. What do you feel is missing?
Oh man. So we're gonna do.
Wait, hold on, Sean. What was that?
Insert evil laugh. Here comes the truth.
I heard it too.
I think he's loving his microphone or something. I think that's what it is.
No, I love this question. Really, I do.
Right.
Okay, lay it on us. What do you feel is missing?
I think I heard Rev say morale. I'm gonna say soul.
Soul.
Yeah.
Okay, expound on that. That's my word.
So
today.
when God blew His breath in our body, we became a living soul.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So everything we do is a byproduct of Him. So when we disconnect from Him, although we have soul, it's not living. So a lot of the stuff you hear don't live. It don't give life. It don't, and it don't make no difference whether it's gospel or whatever. The closer we were to the beginning, so we're more closer to the end. Depending on your faith and your belief, we're more closer to the end, right?
Right.
And so there's a lot of stuff going on, and so you're seeing death more than anything. But this is really for the believer. You're getting ready to cross over because He says, "I came that you may have life and that more abundantly." Death ain't even in the picture. To us, that's a bridge. That's just So, but because we live in this fallen society, the music doesn't give life. The music, the lyrical content is like really, it doesn't even let you imagine. It doesn't. That's what life does. Like you can, it's like when you're trying to get a house, and you walk in these houses, and when you walk in the house, you start imagining and envisioning things being what they are not in reality, but you're seeing them for what they are. That's what life does. And so that's what music was able to do. Stevie Wonder, the man couldn't even sing. Well, some people say he sing, but anyway.
So yeah, some people say he faking. They said he drove a car. I don't think Stevie faking.
But he was able to paint a picture. His songs painted a picture, and you was just there.
Yeah.
To the musician, he inspired you to want to try something that actually he was playing. The reason why that song the reason why the actual keys was making that sound was because he was playing faster than the polyphony of the notes.
Oh.
That Boogie on Reggae Woman?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell
That's
me.
bass synth,
Teach me something.
Yes, sir, Doc. That bass synth track was crazy.
Correct. So he was creating a sound that nobody could get. So they had to create a keyboard with that sound. But the sound was actually because he was playing more than the polyphony. The keyboard couldn't take how fast he was putting the notes together.
Wow.
That reminds me, I just saw a video of him. I don't know what show it was, where I think he was the first one. He might have been the first one to do the vocoder. The talk box. I'm sorry, the talk box.
Talk box. Yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Because I thought, I don't know why I thought Roger started that. I never knew that Stevie had done that.
It was Stevie, then Peter Frampton was doing it for a while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because of that, because the soul is gone, the innovation is gone. See, they were innovators.
Yeah.
You got commission. I'm taking the gospel. They were innovators, right? And so instead of innovation, you have imitation.
Wow.
Yeah, you got a lot of copycats.
Wow.
Right, and although there's nothing new under the sun, because I'm a living soul, I should always give you something new. Even though I might remind you, I'm going to remind you. There's so many people that have touched it and done this before us. So yes, you're going to remind me of something, right?
Yeah.
But you leave me right there. You don't give me hope. And I'm not saying that as a matter of fact, but it's more of a matter of fact than not. We have a lot of copycatters, carbon copy, imitators, because we live in an industry that only accepts what it likes. So when you see, these guys weren't held, they were not held hostage to that. We are now held hostage because of the standard that they set. But really the reason why they set that standard was because they were a living soul. And they were doing it by any means necessary. They wasn't worried about if somebody liked it 1,000 likes and the stuff we're worried about. You know what I mean? I tell you what, man, I was my freest when I was a child. That's why I love being around my children. Because when I was a child playing on the keyboard, I wasn't worried about a flat 9, a major 7. I wasn't worried about none of that. I did not care. What I cared about was the fact that, oh my God, this feeling. What is that? Yeah. When I heard Jodeci, I was like, what? I wasn't even saying about what they were saying. I was like, you hear that sound?
Yeah, yeah.
When I heard commission, when I heard the whining, we can keep going. All right, so, we got to pay homage to him. Where's Silent?
Yeah, may he rest in peace.
Rest in peace, sir.
Most people just know him for the all that kind of stuff like that.
Do it one more time. I was gonna ask you to do it anyway. Do it one more time.
You know what I'm saying?
No, you did not, Sean.
But that came later. As he was just having fun, but he had already laid the foundation. There's a song you can look it up. I encourage everybody to look it up. I think Allstate took this, Like a Good Neighbor, State Farm rather. I think State Farm took this from him. He had a song called Jesus Was There, or Like a Good Neighbor. Man, oh my God. I'm talking about the song on that thing. It's on the Miracle Worker CD.
Wow.
And man, he didn't do no acrobatics. He just sung. And he was so powerful. You just like, oh my God. I mean, I was a kid in awe. That's what I'm talking about. When we sit down and play, when we sing, if you're not putting people in the presence of the Almighty God, the creator of love, you're perverting it because you're dead.
Yeah. Hey, man, as a quick reference, have you ever seen that video he did? It was way back in the day.
In the 60s.
Was it the 60s?
60s, I think it
when
was.
Stax Records, they did big, huge concert at, what is that? Out in LA Coliseum, I think it was.
Yeah,
and,
I'm here.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know about his Stax days until I got hip to it. I was on his gospel stuff first.
Yeah, he tried R&B. He tried it.
Oh, he did it.
He did it.
Oh,
He didn't try it.
It was playing the guitar.
Right, it was playing guitar. But here's the thing, I'm not going to mention any names. He was thrown out of a church because they thought he was too secular.
Yeah.
He was thrown out. Next thing you know, he blows up on Stax Records.
Right.
And then they got the hint, he came back over to gospel. Just to your point about him.
Yeah, people like him and Andre Crouch and
pioneers.
And Hawkins, they had a different sound, and the church wasn't readily accepting of it because I guess to them it sound, and I'm doing my air quotes, it sound like the world.
Oh Lord have mercy.
But you listen to Ray Charles, he got his style from the church.
Oh yeah, all of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I really think I know we might dive into that. But I did a love album.
That album was crazy. Sir, that record right there. I just want to go on record. That record right there, sir.
You know, that I'm gonna tell you, thank you. But I'm gonna tell you, that record is not a byproduct of an actual experience. I had difficulties in my marriage. My marriage ended in a divorce. In that regard, and I was going to throw a lot of that stuff away that I was creating, and I heard the Lord say, "You think you made that for this person? You think I gave that to you because of a good series of events that were occurring in your life? I didn't give that to you for that. I gave that to you because I wanted you to have hope in love for this time when you feel like love doesn't even exist. That's why I gave it to you."
Wow.
Yeah,
So
he's allowing you. I'm sorry, he's allowing you to prophesy to yourself, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. He said, I didn't give this to you for just because on as far as my faith concerns, you want to practice what you preach, right?
Right.
But there are some things that can happen in your life that's out of your control, and you can feel unworthy. But that's when you need a God that has nothing to do, that looks at not where you're at in your life, but what he said for you to do, regardless of where you're at.
Well, I'm going to just need you to take a text and go on and preach while you're at it.
I'll slide on B3, Reverend. Come on, let's go.
Please. I mean, so the Love album, was a byproduct of, he says, I'm going to restore you as you release it. I'm going to restore your faith in love.
That's great.
And so he began to give me a series of songs and things, that I've yet to experience. It's more prophetic for me, but it brings hope into the community that believes. Because listen, if a lot of people can't grab Jodeci because it may take them back to a place, prior to them giving their lives to the Lord.
Can I ask you about one song, sir? I Don't Want Nothing.
I don't want nothing. There you go.
He getting ahead of the game. He
got to talk about that Love record, and that's because that song was my joint right there.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Sean Scales. I'm with Michael Lloyd, Tamara Lloyd, and this is an awesome conversation we're having. I want to introduce to you one of my singles off of my album entitled Kingdom Love, entitled I Don't Want Nothing. Let's go.
Had a long day at work, sitting in the room trying to relax, feet up in the air, just kicking back. She walked in the door, he looked at her and said, "Baby, do you need something?" She said, "Oh no, baby, I don't want nothing. I just came to check on you. I don't want nothing. Just wanna make sure you're cool. I don't want nothing. Is there something I can do for you? I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing, baby. I don't want nothing."
She was home with the kids all day, had dinner on the stove. Ooh, baby just pulled up. Then he walks through the door. He kissed her on the cheek. She looked at him and said, "Baby, do you need something?" He said, "Oh no, baby,
I don't want nothing. I just came to check on you. I don't want nothing. Just wanna make sure you're cool. I don't want nothing. Is there something I can do for you? I don't want nothing. I don't want nothing, baby. I don't want nothing." See, I want that kind of love, that 20 and 30 love.
that ride or die kind of love. Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I want that kind of
Yeah,
love.
I want that kind of
That
love.
real good love.
Real good
If
love.
you want that kind of love, then just say, "Baby, I don't want nothing. I just came to check on you. I don't want nothing. Just wanna make sure you're me. It's all about nothing. Is there something I can do for you? I don't want nothing. ride out.
Let the beat ride out.
Oh, we gon' let the beat ride out. Yeah. We gon' let the beat ride out, baby. Yeah. We gon' let the beat ride out.
Let the beat ride out.
We gon' let the beat ride out. Oh, I don't want nothing.
I like the way you said, I don't want nothing.
I don't want nothing.
I don't want nothing. Okay, so that's another song that I'm on. I don't know what you're trying to do to me today, but I just appreciate you. How can I say it? I appreciate you having faith enough that I could do the lead vocal on that. Because you know how I feel about that, right? You know how I feel.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And nobody, and I didn't care.
I know you didn't. Wow. I know you didn't. You gonna sing? What are you, Tina?
Yeah.
Eat the cake, Tina. Sing it.
Anime.
That's her name. Anime. So so tell us about that song.
Yeah. I don't want nothing. I've had that experience. When things are rocky. Or what have you. And then I've seen just people in relationships and marriages, they're just not at peace with one another. And then I watch my elder statesmen, like the older couples, they don't really. I watch them walk in the room, and they'll greet one another. But I watch a younger couple, when they don't have the peace, the fluidity or the chemistry there where it needs to be. You ever seen it where, it doesn't matter, wife or spouse, the wife walks in, the guy jumps up, just automatically jumps up. He's just like, what's going on? Like, bro, did you see what I mean? Like somebody scares you, like, you know what I mean? The wife is talking with her friends or something, the husband walks in. She's automatically like, man, you need something? And in my head, I was like, man, I want a relationship. I know there's going to be some immediate things, right? Mm-hmm. But I want to be at peace with my wife. So to the point where when she walks in, I just look over at her and like, you good? And she's like, I'm good. I ain't want nothing. I just wanted to sit, chill with you. It's like, a lot of times, marriages, they be trying to get away from one another. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if he's watching TV or something, it's like, oh my God, I can't watch sports. You know what I mean? Like it's over. That's why they got a den. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I know you gotta have your time apart. I know you gotta have your time apart. But man, like, if our relationship with God or the marriage is a microcosm of our relationship with God, when did you really want to get away from Him? You know what I'm saying?
Never.
Never. You know what I mean? So that's what marriage is. It's a microcosm of that. But again, if there's no life principle there, it's death. You know what I'm saying? So I just like, man, I just want to come up with something that when people play and listen to it, I'm actually breathing life into them. Yeah. So when you walk in the room, don't ask for nothing. They don't want to go to the mall. I need some money. Like, oh my Lord. You know what I mean? Nah. Just, what you want to do? I don't want nothing. I just, can we go to the park? You know what I mean? Yeah, sure, no problem. Make it easy going. It's so stagnant and rigid. We got that in the world today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't want nothing. I ain't want nothing. I just came to check on you. Yeah.
How you said it again? I don't want nothing.
I don't want nothing. Maybe a sandwich.
Maybe a sandwich. Yeah. So with you being one of the most excellent producers and singers, songwriters that I've worked with, let's discuss excellence in the music business. What can you share with other producers, singers, and songwriters to help them become excellent at their craft?
I would say I know we like to be inspired by other people, but you need to have more of you time, silence. You know, I don't listen to people because but that's the way I found my sound. I respect what you're doing, but I had to turn a lot of stuff off so I could turn on my identity.
Yes, I understand that.
Yeah, so turn that stuff off for a second. You need, you know, sometimes, they used to do that back in Motown. Where if they signed a group, you know, in that regard, they signed a group, they put them all away. Like y'all gonna live in this house. You know, this is what y'all doing. You know what I'm saying? This is what you're doing right here. Because they had to find their sound. You know, so you have to find your pace, how you write lyrics. You know, and all of that happens with not necessarily isolation, but intimacy. Just intimate time. You know what I'm saying? You know, so you got that I would say is important to one's development and growth in achieving excellence, and patience. You know, a lot of us are good at what we do. But like you said, a lot of us are not excellent at what we do, and it's because we peak too soon.
Wow. If I can add an addendum to that, so is that how you always manage to stay so full? It seems like every couple or whatever. I mean, a lot of people have content or a lot of songs that they put out, but your stuff. Everything I've heard from you since you and I connected some years ago, it sounds like fresh. It's always so much in it. And you talked about the silence and finding your sound. Is that how you've managed to create the type of music that you have created? I mean, dude, it's like you never disappoint me. Never.
I'm appreciative of that. And Gloria, you know, but yes, silence. I don't listen to, you know, but I had time listening to life-giving stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm inspired by life-giving stuff. If I told you who's my favorite bands and all this kind of stuff, you'd be like, yep, I can hear it. You know what I'm saying? Life-giving principle. But then I had to cut them off so I could turn me on.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So you know, it's just me and the Creator. You know, it's just me and the Most High, and He becomes my filter. And that's the next point. If God is not your filter, then the antagonist is. Period. Darkness. If God does not come in and sit with you while you're producing, while you're writing, and you don't notice this, I can notice the shift. Like there's been times, I was concerned about the Love album, for example, that I wouldn't overextend and that love wouldn't become lust. But it never did. You know why? Because the Creator would come in. I knew it was Him, and He would change that dynamic. Don't play that chord. I just move away from it. Put a string here that breathes life and keeps it from being dark. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, keep it's certain things that bells and chimes. I mean, you gotta really and that's the next thing. You gotta be intentional. Like we're so talented, we do stuff that we can't do again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, man. You know when God created the heavens and earth, He was intentional. Okay, let's not, for those who, you know, all right, man, he said too much God. Cool. Quincy Jones was very intentional. Very.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There was, and all that stuff he would compose, the bells would come in at a certain time. It wasn't all through the whole song. All of a sudden you hear like, what in the world? Wait a minute. He composed that.
Yeah.
That's intentional. I meant that. I meant to brighten this particular phrase, this particular section of the song up so I could get this lyric through. Feel that beat, drop everything. Everything was intentional. Mm-hmm. It's not happenstance. That means, so you got to be intentional about turning our stuff off. Be intentional.
Yeah.
When that thing turn on, you don't want to turn it off. And I've been blessed that I've never hit a dry spell in my life. I've had dry spells in my life, but my creativity never dried up.
Wow.
It's never been dry. Never. Ever.
And that's obvious because
Wow.
you sent me what 2 songs this week. I'm like, dude, does it ever stop? And the answer is no. But I find myself when someone sends me a song for me to put background vocals on, my first response, and Michael has heard this response and he's gotten on my case about it. My first, especially if they send me a song that already has vocals on it and they want me to redo it, my first thing is, why they calling me? Because to me it sounds good already. And his response is always, they want that sound. And so I have to make sure, people ask me, who do I listen to? And I don't really, I listen to music sometimes, but like you, I have to shut it out so that I won't sound like somebody else. And then it's funny how sometimes I end up sounding like, I've heard people say, and I don't agree with this, but I've heard people say, man, those sound like Brandy harmonies. And I'm like, I wish. But they obviously they hear something I don't. Yeah. And I don't even listen to Brandy like that.
Right.
So I understand what you're saying about shutting stuff off. I don't even, I know this is going to sound bad, but I don't even buy CDs that much.
Oh, man.
Or MP3s that much. Because it kind of clouds you when you're listening to everyone else. So, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Right. So let me ask you, who are your influences and who would you like to collaborate with at some point?
My influences, let me see, Lowell Pie. I collaborated with him. And that was crazy how that happened. I ain't gonna tell you that. Okay, so let's see, Lowell Pie, Isaac Curry, me and him still haven't worked together. I still want to work with him. Dietrich Haddon.
Ooh, that would be crazy.
Woo. Yeah. Dietrich Haddon. Let's see, man. Some of my inspiration on the R&B side would be Mint Condition.
Yes, sir.
Oh my Lord.
Yes,
sir.
My generation, they were one of the coldest bands. Period. Yeah. Groundbreaking. Fred Hammond. I'm gonna say, Montreal Derrick.
Wow.
He was a hidden gem.
That's
man.
A blast from the past. Yeah.
And I actually had a chance to work with him. You know what I mean? So Marvin Sapp, I'd like to work with him. Kim Burrell. Her stuff was groundbreaking.
For sure.
Matter of fact, it's so groundbreaking she can't even outdo it.
No, she can't outdo her own stuff. Yeah.
she can't outdo that. The Everlasting Life. Doobie Powell.
Yes.
Doobie Powell.
Yeah, the homie.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna tell you right now that cat. I was listening to him in the early '90s, and he can't outdo himself. I would let her work with him because I believe like so it was spark. Like I'm telling you, it was spark. You know. Then you know this. You both of y'all know this. D'Angelo.
Michael said that on the last podcast.
Sure did. Hey, bro, I'll meet you at the airport with baggage claim, man. We'll do that tour together.
Yeah. And so a lot of times when people don't realize what D'Angelo was able to do was introduce the world to what quartet was.
I see that.
Yeah.
I see that.
And is. And what I mean with that falsetto, because I didn't know about D'Angelo for a very long time, and somebody came up to me and said, man, you sound like this guy.
Man, you do a mean D'Angelo.
It's killing.
Wow.
So you got Jodeci. Man, oh my goodness. Them cat, woo! The soul, and I'm talking about soul singing. Then you got Joe, Carl Thomas.
Yeah.
So those are my influences, man. Some of my influences, and Dorinda Clark Cole, and I got a chance to be on her show.
You sure did.
And I haven't had a chance to. We trying to work together. We trying to get it. But yes, Dorinda. That's what. All that. Come on with it. That is a blessed woman of golf.
If I had to, if someone asked me, which is a hard question, if someone asked me who was my favorite Clark sister, vocally, it would have to be Dorinda.
Man, oh my God, Dorinda. Yeah.
For her rhythmic style alone, she kills that.
She's funky.
Yeah. I mean, I love the rest of them.
Right,
but
yeah,
Dorinda kind of stands out to me.
No, well, see, I'm amazed at how she's able to get that sound out of her voice because she's got such a raspy sound.
Right.
You know what I mean? And right when you think she peaked, she's like, aha, I got another level right here. Oh!
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So, and then this last one, he's my all-time favorite producer, and I want to work with him. Aaron Lindsay is my guy.
Yeah.
Ohio.
I love his dad. I love his dad. I'm from I love his dad. Oh
Yeah.
my God, Pop Lindsay.
Are they still in Illyria? Are they still in Illyria?
Yeah. You ever heard him on the organ? Oh
No,
my
I've
God.
heard about him though. I heard about him.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, everything that Aaron is a byproduct of him.
And see, I never even heard of
His
him.
daddy?
You
Yeah.
teaching me something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pop Lindsay.
Is he
that's
still
my guy.
pastoring?
Yes, he's still pastoring.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go back to my fun question that I'm going to ask everyone. What would you tell your 20-year-old self, knowing what you've learned so far?
Ooh. Man, that's a
Come on, Reverend, get it out.
You put a stutter in that boy. What would you tell him?
That's why I call it my fun question.
well, yeah. You know what? I got it. Don't stop to complete your life. Go live your life. And what I meant by that is, I got married too early. And it's no strike against, no strike against the children's mother. God bless her, everything. But I think my dad was trying to allude to that, but he was passing away, and he just wanted to see me happy. But run your race, man. If God get with your 20-year-old vitality, man, be the best singer, preacher, musician you can be. You have no strings. You don't have to make pit stops no, man, go all the way with God. Go all the way with what he gave you. Mm-hmm. Don't stop. Don't look up. Go straight ahead. Don't look over. And cause as soon as you look over, you're gonna be like, man, I feel lonely. Nah, Negro, you ain't lonely. You go do what you supposed to do. Right. That's what I would tell my 20-year-old self. That's what I would tell my son. Man, be you first before you try to bring somebody else in your equation. Because that's bad debt. See, when you don't achieve the purpose that you're supposed to achieve within your singleness, within your 20s, or within your specific age, that's bad debt. You carry that to the next age. You carry that into your next relationship. You carry that into the next business deal. Because you're not who you really want to be. So that's what they're getting.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
you ain't lonely.
See, I would tell my 20-year-old self to go to the Air Force like I started to, and travel the world. Yeah, that's what I would have done.
And then you would have been honorably discharged because you sing so many good vocals. They would have
know. No, I would have.
T-Rock's Army sound.
I would have been flying somebody's plane. That's what I would have been doing.
But we thank God because we need you to fly these vocals, amen.
Well,
that's right, amen.
I would have had my studio set up in the cockpit or something. I don't know. And see, this is not my interview, but I started out wanting to be a drummer. I didn't even want to play keys. I didn't even really want to sing, even though I was doing a lot of singing when I was young. But I wanted to play drums, and I was told that wasn't a feminine thing to do.
Wow.
And so there was no investment in that. I would play for VBS and stuff like that, but then when there was no investment, I was just like, okay, I guess I'm not supposed to do that.
Wow.
But yeah, that's I would tell my 20-year-old self to pick up them sticks again and start drumming.
Right.
Yeah, and it's funny how we allow people to talk us out of things.
That's right.
That we know in our gut is what we're supposed to do. And so, yeah, I guess you would tell your 20-year-old self to chill out on the marriage thing.
Yeah,
and
yeah. I mean,
go
it's
for the
not
ministry thing.
Yeah, it's not just a marriage thing. It's just sometimes we're adults before we need to be. Again, you hatch before your time. You know, and that childlike faith, that stuff, you know, you got to fight for that. You know, that's why he said, except you return back as a child, you ain't even getting into the kingdom. You know? So yeah.
Okay, we're in the home stretch. So let me ask, and it's probably things that I don't know about Sean Scales. So, do you have any hobbies well, I don't want to say outside of music, because music is not a hobby for us. It's the real thing, and we like to get paid for what we do. I just had to put that plug in there. Well, what hobbies do you have that you would like for your audience to know about?
I like to go bowling. I like to, I like to play basketball. I'm thankful that my knees still allow me to, and I like to do that. And I like to see my sons have fun. So, you know, I was coaching flag football before the pandemic, and was looking forward to seeing them in it, even if I wasn't coaching. So, you know, like I said, they keep me. I'm still young, but they keep me younger. You know, just I love having fun. I like to laugh. I like to, joke around. I'm easygoing, so yeah, that's just a few things. Yeah.
Okay.
And I like IT. I'm into IT. You know, so I like to put computers together. Stuff like that. You know, one of my goals, I want to aspire to becoming a cybersecurity, or certified in cybersecurity. Because as you continue to matriculate in the industry that we're in, it's more important to fund yourself.
Yes.
Outside and on top of having your family, but you need to fund your dreams. And things of that nature. The more you're able to fund your dreams, the more power you have at the table when you get invited to it.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to hear growing up, and I'm sure you guys might have heard this, why don't you go get a real job? And I'm like, this is the job for me. And those will be the same people that'll go pick up somebody else's project and be like, man, did you hear so-and-so? I'm like, I'm trying to do the same thing. Why won't you support me that way? But it's always good. I don't want to say to have a backup plan, but it's always good to have different streams of income. That's the way I'll say it.
Sure,
different streams of income. Not that music isn't important, because I think it's an important part of life, but it's good to have something else on your plate. So I agree with you going forward in that in that IT field. That would be great. And that's that's something you can teach. We all can teach our children. Just
that's right.
Not to rely on the man or the system. Be an entrepreneur. Not everybody is wired for university, and so I'm trying to instill that in my kids. I'm like, if you don't want to go to college, I would at least like you to get a certificate in something. But if you don't want to go to college, I'm okay with that. But as long as you build your brand and find out what you want to do as far as being an entrepreneur, I'm good with that.
Right. Yeah.
My oldest is in college, but the other two, I don't think they want to go, and that's okay. That's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right. Yeah. So, like I said, we're in the home stretch. I would love for you to give our audience some words of encouragement. Just share whatever's on your heart.
Words of encouragement. Hold fast to your identity. Hold fast to your identity. If you feel like you lost it, turn everything off, and be silent, before the Lord, and find your identity. We're living in a time now where identity is being shaken, and when you find your identity, you will find purpose. And that's the reason why we are here. And when you find your purpose, hold on to it. Hold on to it for dear life, because that's the reason why you're still here. People that have passed away is because it was their time to go. In that regard. And if you're still here, it's not time to go. So don't act like it. Don't listen to the news. Don't listen to that, and attach yourself to the life-giving principle of Christ, because he came that we may have life and have it more abundantly. There's no death in that sentence that I just said.
All right. Can you give your contact info to our audience so they'll know how to contact you if they need your services or want to buy your music? Yeah. If you want to contact me, you can reach me at my website. It's www.iamshawscales.com. Click on the booking information, and we will definitely get in contact with you. You can also follow me on Instagram. It's at Mr. Scales for Life, the number 4, life. I had to get a new Instagram and Facebook page. Somebody hacked me and what have you. But I lost a lot of my contacts, but they're all coming back. If you are who you say you are, they're going to find you. Right.
Right. So, and then you can follow me on Facebook, Sean Scales, in that regard there. And as far as the music concerns, Google your boy. Google me.
The boy worldwide.
He's Googleable.
The boy worldwide.
Who said that? Was that Nene Leakes? He's Googleable.
Right. You can look me up on YouTube, Google, we got iTunes, Amazon, SeanScales, Sean Scales. And all of my music that I have out and available is accessible on all digital, music digital stores. All right. Well, Sean, thank you for being a part of this podcast. It was a great time in the Lord. Thank you so much for having me. You are quite welcome. Like we said earlier, we want to lift up the family of Rance Allen. May he rest in peace. He was a gospel icon, a legend, and we thank God that he loaned him to us for a little while. Yeah. So, and also to the family of Sean Connery. Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, I'm so heartbroken. Oh, that was my dude. We want to extend our deepest condolences to his family as well.
T-Vox Sound Records is an independent multi-genre record label founded in 2017 by the label's CEO, Tamara D. Lloyd, who is also a hit songwriter and vocal producer in her own right. Aside from promoting indie artists, we also offer quality background vocal arrangements and music production at affordable prices. T-Vox Sound Records is climbing steadily. To hear the top singles by our artist, visit our website at www.tvoxsoundrecords.com. T-Vox Sound Records. We create the sound.
T-Vox Sound.
Until next time, stay safe, stay creative, and join the conversation.